I decided to run Mephisto 1,000 times with 1,000 magic find, and this was all done online on ladder. So to reach 1,000 magic find, I had to get my hands on very specific pieces of gear, and I really need to thank Tristan, Jeff, Alays, and everyone else from Discord who helped me get my hands on all of this stuff. That would have been impossible to do alone, so thank you very much for all of your help. So this is my gear: a crystal sword with 6 ist runes giving me 180 magic find, a simple Shaco with an ist rune, a 49 magic find amulet, the max is 50 but I was not able to find one, a monarch with 4 ist runes giving me 100 magic find, scolders with an ist rune for 116 magic find, perfect chances, a ring giving me 40 magic find, gold wrap, another ring with 40 magic find, and perfect war travelers. With this, I'm also using a 40 magic find guide with 31 small charms giving me 7 magic find and resists, because with all that gear I really needed to boost my resist somehow. And I also have a 1619 torch. That brings me to 1000 magic find flat. And in my weapon swaps, I'm using wizard spike to cap my resist, give me some mana, and a huge 50 FCR. And the shield is a spirit monarch. As for my build, I'm a generic blizzard frozen orb sorceress, and my mercenaries using an Eth Reaper's Toll, Fortitude, and Andy's Visage. With that being said, let's get into it. I had a pretty long dry spell right at the beginning, but on run 64, I found my first loot and it was a massive one. War Travelers with 50 magic find. Absolutely unbelievable first drop. It has a base drop rate of 1 in 4,489 Mephisto runs. Then 2 runs later on run 66, I found a pretty good underrated bow for Amazons, Witch Wild String. The amplified damage on striking, deadly strike, all resist, and 2 sockets make this bow very powerful. On run 69, I found something that I'm currently using, especially to boost my resist like I just said. Wizard Spike, the best weapon in the game in terms of resist, giving a total of 300 resist, which is absolutely crazy. Then on run 71, I found 2 things, unique gloves and a unique ring. The unique gloves are Dracul's Grasp, which can be very good for Smiter Paladins, but unfortunately it rolled very low on everything, and the ring is a useless manhold. On run 85, I found 2 things again, a unique shield and a set armor. The unique shield is Lidless Wall, which can be very good early ladder until you find a Spirit Monarch. The set armor is Trangul Scales, which can be a very good budget option for necromancers. On run 94, I found 2 low-level magic find items at the same time, a unique helm and a unique dagger. The unique helm is Steel Skull, and it rolled with almost perfect enhanced defense and 44 magic find. The unique dagger is Gold. 100 magic find at level 4 seems crazy to me. That has a very low drop rate of only 1 in 9,351 Mephisto runs. On run 102, I found a pretty good unique Demon Hide sash that can be very good for melee characters. String of Ears. It rolled with 8 lifesteal, which is pretty good, but unfortunately the other stats are very low. Then on the next run 103, I found an amazing unique helm, especially for mercenaries, Andariel's Visage. It rolled with 10 lifesteal, but unfortunately minimum strength of 25 and pretty low enhanced defense. On run 107, something dropped that I didn't even know could drop from Mephisto without being terrorized, Arcane's Valor. It's a pretty cool drop, but I don't think it has any use case. It has a base drop rate of only 1 in 24,550 Mephisto runs. Then on run 111, Mephisto dropped one of the best gloves in the game for physical characters, Laying of Hands. Nothing too rare, but still very cool to find. 2 runs later on run 113, I found an excellent unique belt for Amazons, Thunder God's Vigor. The Light Absorb and Max Light Resist also make this belt very useful against Uber Mephisto. Then on run 122, I found a very uncommon set amulet that I don't think has any use case whatsoever, Telling of Beads. It has a base drop rate of only 1 in 9,993 Mephisto runs. On run 138, I found another very good unique belt for Amazons, Razor Tail. The piercing attack makes this belt also very useful for Throw Barbarians. Then on run 147, I found something else for Amazons, a very good unique helm, Valkyrie Wing. It rolled with 4 mana after each kill, but unfortunately only 1 skill out of 2. On the next run, 148, I found a very good crossbow for Amazons, Buriza. That was one of the best weapons in the game before Rune Words. Then on run 151, I found some very nice boots that give a pretty big bonus to life, Water Walk. Not the best boots out there at all, but still pretty good until you find something better. 5 runs later on run 156, I found a very good budget armor for Act 2 mercenaries, Shaft Stop. 30% physical damage reduction is huge. This is the second highest amount of damage reduction that you can get in the game from one single item. On the very next run, 157, I found a pretty good budget weapon for assassins, Jade Talon. It rolled okay on the enhanced damage with 231, but unfortunately all the rest is terrible. On the next run, 158, I found two items, a unique wand and a unique armor. The unique wand is Arm of King Lyric, which is one of the best ones in the game for summon necromancers. The unique armor is Tooth Row. The chances of open wounds make it very good for PvP, but it would be much better at. On run 170, I found a very good unique Grim Helm, especially for mercenaries, Vampire Gaze. It rolled with perfect physical damage reduction of 20, but unfortunately all the other stats are terrible. Then on run 177, I found a niche unique Barbarian Helm, Wolf Owl. It rolled fine on strength and dexterity, but unfortunately very low on all the skills and the defense. On run 189, I found a very niche weapon that can be used in many different builds, Rune Master, and it rolled perfect 270 enhanced damage with 5 sockets. If you put 5 ohm runes in there, this is the weapon that can get the highest enhanced damage in the game with 520%. Or you could also put 5 lem runes in there to get up to 375 gold find. Then on run 201, I found a very niche unique amulet, Atma's Scarab. The chance to cast amplified damage on striking can make this a very good choice for Boazons. It has a base drop rate of only 1 in 8,228 Mephisto runs. 2 runs later, on run 203, I found an assassin's weapon that we found before, Jade Talons, but this time it rolled with 50 all resist, which is quite good. On run 219, I found a unique Grand Charm, and yes, the zone is not terrorized, so it's a Geed. Will this be a good one? Well, it rolled with stats all over the place, very high gold find and very low magic find. Then on run 265, I found one of the best helm in the game for Act 2 mercenaries, Envy's Visage, again, but unfortunately it rolled with very low stats. 2 runs later, on run 267, I found a niche weapon that we found before, Rune Master, and again with 5 sockets. Pretty good find. On run 270, I found some unique javelins that can be pretty good for through barbarians, Demon's Arc, but unfortunately it rolled with very low enhanced damage and lifesteal. On run 300, I found 2 things, unique pike and unique gloves. The unique pike is Lycander's Flank, which can be pretty good for Sperazons. The unique gloves are Mage Fist, which are pretty much the best gloves in the game for casters. On run 314, I found something else that can be very good for throw barbarians, Gimmer Shred, and it rolled with 209 enhanced damage, which is only 1 from perfect. It does a lot of elemental damage and it can be very good when paired with the Demon's Arc. Then 2 runs later, on run 316, I found one of the most sought after item in the game, Shaco. Unfortunately, it rolled with very low defense, but it doesn't really matter. Then on the next run, 317, I found a very good unique weapon for Sorceress, Escuda's Tamper, but unfortunately it rolled absolutely terrible on everything. On run 333, I found a very defensive weapon for Barbarians, Sword Guard, and it rolled with almost perfect all resist of 19 out of 20, but I don't know if this weapon has any use case. On run 369, I found a very good budget armor for Act 2 mercenaries, Duriel Shell. This is not endgame at all, but when you are leveling, this is always a very nice armor to find. Then on run 377, I found a very good unique Mighty Scepter for Paladins, Heaven's Light, and it rolled with 3 skills, 2 sockets, and 298 enhanced damage, which is almost perfect. I don't play Paladins, but this seems very good for a Smiter Paladin. 2 runs later, on run 379, I found a very good unique mercenary helm that we found before, Vampire Gaze. This time it rolled with 7 mana and lifesteal, very high physical damage reduction, but the minimum magic damage reduction. Then on run 381, I found a very good set belt for Sorceress, Talresha Belt, and it rolled with perfect 15 magic find. 2 runs later, on run 383, I found a unique helm that we found not too long ago, Shaco, again. It also rolled with very low defense, but hey, it's still a Shaco. Then on run 396, I found one of the best items in the game for necromancers, Homunculus. The 72 block rate, 40 all resist, and mana after each kill make it a very good choice. On run 424, I found a very good low level defensive helm, especially for mercenaries, Rockstopper. This is an amazing helm, especially when paired with Shaft Stop. It rolled with 39 light resist but minimum fire and cold. Then on run 427, I found one of the best items in the game from Magic Find, Scolder's Ire, with an Ist rune that can give up to 148 Magic Find. The only 2 items with more MF than this is Alibaba with 2 Ist runes, which would be 159, and the weapon with 6 Ist runes, like what I'm using right now, for 180 Magic Find. 50 runs later, on run 477, I found a unique assassin's weapon, Shadow Killer. This is nothing crazy and not endgame at all, but it's one of the few items with both the Eth and indestructible stats. Then on run 496, Mephisto dropped a unique helm that we found twice before, another Vampire Gaze, but this time with 7 mana steal, 8 life steal, 16 physical damage reduction, and 14 magic damage reduction. This one one is pretty good. On run 503, guess what we find again? Something we found 3 times before. Vampire Gaze for the 4th time now. And this one also rolled with 7 mana steal, 8 life steal, but with 18 physical damage reduction and 14 magic damage reduction. This is an excellent drop. Then on run 511, I found a very good unique belt that we found before. String of Ears. It rolled with 8 life steal, but again the other stats are very low. 9 runs later on run 520, I found something that I always love to identify. Ormus Robes, and it rolled with 13, 13, 15 and Glacial Spike, which is not bad, but nothing crazy either. On run 555, I found some very good Smiter Paladin gloves that we found before. Dracul's Grasp, but unfortunately it rolled with terrible stats. Then on run 561, I found 2 unique helms that gives magic find. The first is Shaco, again, the 3rd Shaco of these runs. The second is Tarn Helm, but unfortunately it rolled with only 27 magic find out of 50. 4 runs later on run 565, I found the item that gives the highest amount of physical damage reduction in the game with 35%. Storm Shield. That's a pretty good shield, especially for hardcore players. It's important to note that the cap for physical damage reduction is 50%, so unfortunately we can't pair this with Shaft Stop and Rock Stopper to get 75%. It will just stop at 50. On run 578, Mephisto dropped some very good javelins for Amazons. Thunderstroke. Unfortunately, it rolled with only 3 skills and pretty low enhanced damage. Then on run 590, I found a very good budget weapon for Act 2 mercenaries, Bone Hoot. Prevent monster heal and 2 sockets make this weapon very strong, and a level 16 bone spear does about 150 damage, so that weapon is a lot better than it seems. On the next run 591, I found a unique shield that has a lot of offensive and defensive stats. Tiamat's Rebuke. It's not endgame at all, but the elemental damage and the resist are very good for a level 38 character. Then on run 604, I found an excellent unique one for Necromancers. Bone Shade. It didn't roll perfect on the skills, but it rolled 3 to bone spear, so it's acceptable. That has a base drop rate of 1 in 6,022 Mephisto runs. 5 runs later on run 609, I found the best magic find gloves in the entire game, Chanseys, but unfortunately it rolled with only 26 magic find, which is almost the minimum. Then on run 678, I found a unique Demon Hide sash that we found 2 times before, String of Ears, again, and again it rolled with horrible stats. 13 runs later on run 691, I found something amazing, a unique Grand Charm, the second guide of these runs. How is this one going to roll? 159, 15, 34. Perfect gamble guide with almost perfect gold find and 34 magic find. This is a very good guide. Then on run 727, I found some unique javelins that we found before. Demon's Arc, again. And these ones are F, but unfortunately the enhanced damage and lifesteal are very low. 10 runs later on run 737, I found a facet. What do you think it's gonna be? 5-4 Cold Death Facet. Not too bad. Facets have a base drop rate of only 1 in 8,776 Mephisto runs. Then on run 739, I found one of the best helm in the game for physical characters, Guillaume's Face, La Facetigui. On run 766, I found a very good unique armor for mercenaries and melee characters, Gladiator's Bane. The Can't Be Frozen stat with the physical and magic damage reduction make this armor very good, especially in trav runs, but unfortunately it has a very high level requirement of 85, and at that point, you probably have something better already. On run 778, I found some unique assassin's weapon that were pretty good back in Lord of Destruction, Bartok's Cutthroat. Unfortunately, it rolled with almost minimum enhanced damage and lifesteal. 6 runs later on run 784, I found the boots that give the highest amount of magic find in the game, War Travelers, again, but unfortunately it rolled with only 38 magic find. Then on the next run, 785, I found the rarest unique amulet in the game, Middle Grid, and it rolled with perfect 450 attack rating. That has a base drop rate of only 1 in 20,569 Mephisto runs. On run 809, I found another unique Grand Charm, again, the 3rd guide. Will this be a totally perfect one? Well, no. 114, 12, 25. This is terrible. Then on run 833, I found 2 things, a set belt and a unique helm. The set belt is Tal Russia belt that we've seen before, and this time with only 13 magic find. The unique helm is Valkyrie Wing that we also got before, but at least this is almost a perfect one. 2 to skills, 4 mana after each skill, and 197 enhanced defense. This is a very good drop. On run 839, I found a unique amulet for paladins, Seraph's Hymn, but unfortunately it rolled very very bad on all stats. It has a base drop rate of 1 in 13,713 Mephisto runs. On the very next run, 840, Mephisto dropped two things, a unique tiara and unique boots. The unique tiara is Kyra's Guardian, the helm that gives the highest amount of resist in the game with up to 70 all resist. It rolled only 63, but it's still very good. The unique boots are Marowak, which I'm not sure has any use case. Then on run 886, I found a very good unique gothic bow for Amazons, Gold Strike Arc. If you upgrade this to a Hydra bow, it becomes one of the most powerful bow in the game. On run 905, I found one of the best weapon in the game for Act 2 mercenaries, the Reaper's Toll, but unfortunately it rolled with only 12 lifesteal and 217 enhanced damage. Then on run 918, I found another unique Grand Charm, the 4th guide of these 1000 runs, and 125, 12, 21. Absolutely terrible guide. 20 runs later on run 938, Mephisto dropped one of the best brood pelt in the game, Jalal's Mane. Unfortunately, it rolled with only 153 enhanced defense. And then on run 977, I found a very good budget mercenary armor, Guardian Angel. If you put this on your mercenary with Kara's Guardian that we just found before, your mercenary will be pretty much invincible. And that's it. So all in all, is it worth it to get literally as much magic find as possible? Well, my honest answer is absolutely not. Compared to my videos at 500 magic find, getting 500 more magic find on top of that did not change anything for the drops. There is literally no noticeable increase in drops at all with 1000 magic find. The only noticeable change is that the runs take about twice the time now. But at least now we have the definitive proof that past a certain point magic find becomes completely useless. I want to thank all my channel members who are supporting the channel. Thank you so much to all of you for your support. Also thanks to all of you for subscribing. I've reached 2,000 subscribers this week and that makes me very happy. Please, if you're not a subscriber already, consider subscribing. Only about 10% of people who watch my videos are subscribed to my channel. Also thanks again to Tristan, Jeff, Alays, and everybody from Discord for helping me getting my hands on all that juicy magic find gear. I could not have done this video without you. Thanks everybody for watching until the end, and as always, happy grinding.